Hi, I'm John McLaughlin and I'm a producer at XDev Studios over in Liverpool in the UK.
Awesome, and we're here with Josh Spudic from Capsule Computers, and we're going to be throwing some questions over it.
Alright, we will. We've got a few questions. Firstly, with Reality Fires, you have said that you introduced touchscreen controls. Is that for an easier audience, like for a casual audience, in order for them to gain some sort of access to the game?
Yeah, I mean it's all about the level of choice that we can offer the player as well. So while there's over 30 moves per fight style, I mean we've got that in-depth combat experience, but that might put off the casual player who'll still want to be able to try and pull off those super cool moves that everyone else can pull off. So adding in the touchscreen, whether it's front or rear, we've got both. It just adds that level of accessibility to the game for those kind of players.
The second question will be about the augmented reality, and how does it work? I mean, you got like AR markers, but like how does it really work?
Well, there's different ways of doing augmented reality. So what I showed you before in Reality Fighters, we've got the marker-based stuff, and that gives us our point of reference, so we can view the characters in the real world and rotate 360 degrees, zoom in, zoom out. We can also use the gyros in the Vita to project the fighters into the world, and we project them to scale. So whether they're this big on the tabletop or whether they're this big outside in the garden, we can do that as well. And you've seen before with our new technology that we're still working on called wide area augmented reality. By having multiple versions of the markers, we can create a bigger play space rather than just a single marker, but not just a bigger play space. We can bring markers into the scene to create new objects. We can have them on different heights, so your character could jump off a coffee cup onto the table kind of thing. Or I could maybe create a racetrack and I could physically change the chicane, the hairpin by moving the markers around. So it gives us a lot more in terms of flexibility in what we can do in augmented reality.
Good. Talking about uniqueness, look, the Vita's unique features. Let's go into Little Big Planet, and it's using a lot of the features.
Yes.
And sort of just describe how the features are going to present themselves in the game.
So it depends on the actual levels. So certain levels could be front touch, certain levels could be rear touch. But as you've seen in the demo that you played, it was kind of like a traditional Little Big Planet level. But by using the front and rear touch in different ways, we added a new element to the gameplay, whether it was puzzles or platforms. And then we took you onto a new game where it was like air hockey, but utilising the front touch, the multi-touch OLED screen, so we could both play on the same game. And the cool thing is with the create side of things, there's 5 million levels on PS3, and you can imagine what that community is going to be able to do. Now it's easier to create by using front touch than it is with the PlayStation 3 pad. It makes it a lot more accessible. You can use the camera to take snapshots of things and put them into your levels as well. And then it's up to the player then whether they're going to create rear touch games, front touch, or a mixture of them all. And then with the new online feature set of Vita, we can upload and download levels while we're on the go with 3G or on Wi-Fi.
Well, talking about the camera, will the Little Big Planet feature any sort of augmented reality, or is that going to be a bit too much for the game to handle?
It wouldn't be too much for the game to handle, but it's whether does the game need it. So rather than shoehorn everything in just so we've got everything, it's a case of using things in the right way. I'm sure you'll agree when you played that level then, it felt natural. It felt natural to use the rear touch to bring those platforms into play and the front touch as well.
You're absolutely right. Are there going to be like a record feature in both Reality Fires and Little Big Planet? Like you ever record your own sort of gameplay? Record a fight or say record a level that you go through?
Not at the moment. There's none in Reality Fighter, but there's nothing to maybe stop us in the future in development whether we want to take a quick snapshot. In Reality Fighter, you can take pictures of yourself to create yourself, but then you can take pictures of yourself in augmented reality and post them to Facebook. But you can also record your own voice as well using the microphone, so you can create your own taunts. Trash talk with your friends, so you can play online and have some fun.
I've got some ideas already. Just one more question. let's talk about the social capabilities of both near and party in terms of both games. How are we going to use? How is near and party essential to Little Big Planet and Reality Fighters?
Different games will use them in different ways, and we're still working on how we're going to implement it from Reality Fighters, for example. But as an example, I could create my character, and then while I'm here in Sydney, I can drop my character for you to pick up, and then you can pick that character up and say, who's this? It's John from Liverpool, he's from the other side of the world, kind of thing. But then you've got my character to play as in your game. And if you think about it, there's how many millions and billions of people in the world. You can basically create this whole roster of weird and wonderful characters from around the world just through the near and the gifting capabilities of Vita.
Okay, well thank you John for coming down here and showing us the Vita.
No problem.
Hopefully development does go smoothly and we can hopefully expect to see the game sometime next year, both games.
Yes, absolutely.
That's great.
Awesome. Thanks very much for your time. All right.
Thanks.